Hey, what's up, all you 40K fanatics? It's me, Casey, again. Sorry that it's been a while. Unfortunately, the holidays never stop coming and they never stop interrupting with my plans. So, we are going to talk about, without a doubt, the best Legion slash chapter that is out there today, the Blood Angels, the Ninth Legion, Sons of Sanguinius, ladies and gentlemen. My favorite chapter slash legion, my favorite faction in 40K. So, other than orcs, of course. But yeah, let's get into it. By the blood of Sanguinius, for the Emperor! Hey, all you 40K fanatics, we're talking about the Blood Angels today, the Ninth Legion, and my favorite faction in the Imperium. The Blood Angels were known as the Ninth Legion. Prior to being reunited with their Primarch Sanguinius, they were called the Revenant Legion, a term coined by Malcador the Sigillite, the Emperor's best bro and biggest buddy. After a lot of infamy and problems, eventually their Primarch was found, and Sanguinius bent the knee before them. He said that they would no longer be mad dog killers and savages, that they would be noble people, and he would show them that even they could be redeemed, and offered them his eternal service. This kind of shook them, but they accepted it and followed his lead. Sanguinius taught them how to be humble, chivalrous, and noble in all things. They always strive for perfection. They're artists, poets. They have armor that is often inlaid with gold trim and carvings because they're so into using these forms of art and perfection to fight off the gene flaw that they all suffer from. We'll go into the gene flaw here in a minute, but I just want it to be known that these guys are the noble sons of Sanguinius. Honestly, if I had to describe these guys, they're like Ultramarines if Ultramarines weren't into their own clout. They are what the Ultramarines wish they could be. Whenever a Blood Angel is in charge of, say, a Death Watch unit, he strives to push his unit to perfection and training and strength, and everybody looks at him like he is just an example of what it is to be a Space Marine. And they want to push themselves further and further. And honestly, with that chiseled jawline and blonde hair, it's kind of like Heath Ledger from A Knight's Tale. Inside, though, they're all cursed with their genetic flaw known as the Red Thirst. So Sanguinius blessed the Blood Angels with two forms of a genetic flaw. First off, they would suffer from the Red Thirst, which was a constant anger and frustration caused within them that made them want to drink blood. See, they were always mad because they had to force down that feeling to drink blood. So they devote themselves to the arts and to things of noble pursuit so that they can push past this base need that they have and strive to be pillars for the Imperium itself. And then they suffered from the Black Rage, which kind of gets more of a bigger hint after the Horus Heresy. Prior to the Horus Heresy, it was just a sort of blood rage where a blood angel would go insane and murder anyone around him in melee combat, usually his brother, his cat, even himself, civilian or two, and the enemy itself. So they'd have to mercy kill him, detain him, or do whatever they can, or lock him in a tower on their home planet. Sanguinius even mercy killed them himself. After the Horus Heresy, they would see themselves, when they fell to the Black Rage, they would see themselves as Sanguinius on the Spirit of Vengeance, going to kill Horus himself and all of the enemies. His best friend, his cat, anyone around him is Horus, and he has to kill that boy quick. but that was after the Horse Heresy. So, we're talking about the Great Crusade Blood Angels, the Ninth Legion. These boys recruit from the world of Baal, a desert stricken wasteland, including its two moons. The Blood Angels are based on Baal, and whenever they need recruits, they call a time of challenge, which takes place in an area called Angel's Fall, where Sanguinius was found as a babe. They call this time of challenge, and then the tribes of this blasted Fallout Mad Max style planet strive to get there as fast as they possibly can, whether it's through really crappy, junky rovers or hang gliders. They hike there, and believe me, they are not the pillars of humanity. They are usually cannibalistic, scavenging, tumor ridden, hunched over, boys that really just, they're not exactly what you would think of as the pillars of humanity. In fact, imagine that movie Judge Dredd, and you remember those yokels that tried to eat Judge Dredd and Rob Schneider? That's pretty much who they recruited. The children of those people. So they call this time of challenge. They meet there, and then during this time of challenge, they have blood games where they complete different challenges, fight to the death, and then they only have a certain amount of slots to fill to take back. Any of those who do not make the cut are meant to guard the challenge ground and protect it for the next generation of recruits. Those who are recruited are then taken back to the Arx Angelicum, the home, you know, monastery of the Blood Angels, and are marched very paraded like in front of all of the active Blood Angels. They throw a parade for these, short, hunched over, tumor ridden, carcinoma covered kids when they themselves are 8 foot tall demigods with a jawline like a supermodel and glorious blonde hair and blue eyes. So, what they do with these recruits is have them drink from the cup of Sanguinius, which should contain some of his blood and the gene seed to start the process. Then they are locked in a stasis coffin and filled with the blood of the chapter and Sanguinius, allowing the gene seed to work its magic, and over the course of a year will transform and grow the organs that they need to become a space marine, or at least start the process. Sometimes they wake up during and they are trapped inside the sarcophagus, and it really plays on their mind. Some come out insane, or some just die. It's a very hard process, and it is said to be stabilized by them drinking from the cup prior to and going into the sarcophagus. It's supposed to stabilize the gene seed and make it easier. Unfortunately, uh, it's not working as well as it should, and over the years, it started to degrade. But we'll get into that another day. The only other gene seed more unstable than theirs would be that of Lehman Russ of the Space Wolves. Lehman Russ had a more, we talked about him in a previous video. You guys can go check it out there. Anyways, the gene seed gets inserted into them. They get locked into a sarcophagus filled with blood and eventually grow the organs to become a space marine. Afterwards, they are removed after a whole year of being in the sarcophagus and put into the scout company as a new neophyte of the chapter and trained to become a space marine. They have grown all the organs necessary. Their bodies are stronger, tougher. Their hair sometimes changes blonde. Their noble feet, their awful carcinoma covered skin is replaced with noble features and a chiseled jawline, blue eyes, and elongated canine teeth, or, vampire teeth, basically. They have to learn how to become a Blood Angel Space Marine in the Scout Company, much like most Space Marine chapters and legions do. They learn about Sanguinius, what he sacrificed, and what he fights for. Great Crusade Space Marines, they didn't know about this because, spoilers. But Heresy and Great Crusade Blood Angels would uphold the values that their Primarch Sanguinius would strive forward throughout the Great Crusade to spread. The superiority of humanity, the nobility of the Space Marine, the imperial truth, and what they fight for in all of humanity and what they hold dear. As long as there is a son of Sanguinius out there on the front lines, the Imperium is safe in my opinion. So, thanks for listening. I appreciate the listening because it means you're out there. You're checking our stuff out. You're sharing it. You're liking it. And honestly, I don't know why you're here. I'm just kidding. But like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our socials, and we appreciate any support on our podcast. We just hit a new personal goal, and you should check out our feeds because we are doing a giveaway now in December and probably in January. So if you want to win, like, comment, subscribe, and follow us on Twitter. So, peace.